One Piece chapter 1179 might just be what Elbaf needed to revive from the brink of mid, and that reveal at the end of the chapter will change the fandom forever. But before that, we start from the beginning. This chapter begins right after the last one with Imu talking to the Gorosei. We see a shot of Marijois Castle and what seems to be rubble from below, and 4 of the 5 elders are talking to Imu, trying to convince Imu to change his mind of leaving the Holy Land. And I like, even though there's plenty of empty furniture around, Marcus Mars still is standing. That's a hilarious detail. Anyways, after that, Garling enters the room, telling them to drop their idealness, that this is not the time to be bickering between themselves. Also informing us that Shamrock's return has quelled matters against the starvation tactics that the revolutionaries are deploying. Then right after that, he gets a call from York demanding food, and that this is not the deal that they made, with her becoming a celestial dragon. We get a shot of the Labu phase power plant, which was relocated to Marijois, holding the Mother Flame. And now we know that the world government has the power of the Mother Flame in their hands, firmly, with York's help. Then we cut back to the elders discussing Nika's return and whether it was a coincidence or inevitable that the Holy Land is currently under siege. They plead with Imu to not leave the castle and allow them to dispatch Navy admirals to Elbaf, or even going there themselves, and Imu declares that this was all inevitable. Thinking back at the events happening the last 40 years, with Rox and Roger and Orihime and the Devil Fruit stolen by Shanks, Harold's death, Loki's attacks on his ships, Whitebeard's death, Luffy and Blackbeard's rise to prominence, Nefertari D. Lily, Joy Boy, and Davy Jones, with it concluding him wanting to retrieve Vivi. He tells the elders that it was all set in motion long ago, and he decides to leave the Holy Land in their hands. We cut back to Elbaf, where we see the new giant warrior pirates have apprehended and tied up Somers. We see that they have his metal heart outside of his body, Zoro looking at it, thinking maybe destroying the steel heart is the key to stop them from recovering, with Somers looking horrified, confirming Zoro's theory. After that, we see a shot near the school, where Frankie is tending to both Brook and Mr. Bum, offering to turn them into cyborgs, which is hilarious. Honestly, this shot of low quality Brook getting scared of being turned into a cyborg by Frankie is actually hilarious. Well, in any case, they're looking for Chopper to tend to their wounds at the meantime, so we cut to Sanji's, where we see they have tied Killingham to a tree, telling Sanji to never forget his name, that he won't forget his name, and that he'll be back for
son of a gun. You thought I was gonna say son of a bitch, didn't you?
and that he'll be back for revenge. And finally, we cut back to the ice block where Gunko is encased. We see Loki and Luffy are looking for food to restore their energy, with Loki explaining that the ice encasing Gunko is not gonna melt unless Ragnir thaws her out, which is crazy if that's the power of Ragnir. Ice so cold that it will never melt on its own. That's honestly broken. Then we cut to Nami and Zeus, who are trying to stop the fires from spreading, and then they are horrified when they see giant beam of black lightning striking down at multiple places in Elbaf, and this giant pentagram summoning circle forming above them with black flames all around, and the effect of it happening all over Elbaf, with the houses and trees getting possessed by demonic forces who are singing along. This reminds me of Whole Cake Island and all sorts of soul shenanigans happening there, and it also reminds me of Luffy's awakening, how they are singing in this demonic rhythm as if it's a reverse Nika situation. And with good reason, of course, as we see in the last part of the chapter, one of the black lightning beams hits the castle, shaking it violently, with oodles of Conqueror's Haki striking and knocking out the children. We see Imu inside the castle coughing blood. It looks like that transporting out of the castle and into the quote-unquote lower realm took a lot out of him, and with his body twitching and convulsing and straight up transforming with an explosion, we finally, after years, we see Imu's face with this demonic design, overflowing white hair, dark shaded skin, and horns. Oda is going full Otsutsuki clan with this one, with Rinnegan eyes, looking intimidating as hell. Honestly, this reveal was fantastic. I love the design of Imu, and apparently his ability is Devil's Fruit, as in the progenitor of devil fruits? Or is it the first devil fruit which was ever eaten? Honestly, this has revived my hopes for Elbaf. It might just be a top 10 arc after all. But we'll see in the next few chapters how Imu will do against Loki and Luffy in their rematch, and I can't wait for the next chapter to drop. Bye!